get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and they. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And y'all make sure y'all go and like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, I have a very special guest with me. We finally made this happen. We finally made this happen, man. It's been a long time coming. And I'm glad we saw each other over the weekend. And he was like, man, listen, I'm available now. So let's go and make this thing happen. So, all right, cool. So he's here. He has his own platform. If y'all can see his background, if you're on YouTube, you can see it. If you're listening, man, he got his own channel on YouTube, JUS channel. So I got to give a big welcome to Mr. C. Reed. What's going on?
What's up, baby? What's happening, man?
I'm good.
Pleasure to be here with you, bro. Pleasure.
Well, I'm glad you came on, man. It's been a long time coming.
Definitely.
So before we get started, man, let the people know what you're drinking on tonight.
I ain't gonna lie. I got a virgin daiquiri over here. My wife got me hooked up. It's virgin. I can't drink no more. I got health problems, so I got to be careful with my alcohol. But if I would be drinking straight Remy. I'm a Remy Remy boy. So that's what I would be drinking. Okay.
And I'm doing something a little different tonight. Usually I drink Crown Royal Vanilla mixed with Dr. Pepper and cream soda, but tonight I'm just drinking on some vodka and Sprite tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Just something a little different, just change it up from time to time.
Yeah, my wife be drinking that Crown. She love Crown. That's what I get her.
Which one? Which one does she drink?
She like the Crown Apple because she found another way. She been drinking them with the you ever heard of what's the Warhead canned sodas?
Yeah.
She been mixing them. So that's what she do now. Yeah. It's the sour drink.
Yeah, the sour stuff.
She be mixing them with the Crown Apples. I guess she love it.
I'm gonna have to try it. I'm gonna have to do a review on it. So
yeah.
I might
she on it now.
Oh, I don't know if your wife knows. They have the golden apple flavor.
No, she don't know. Because I say that because I get everything for her. I go in there and get it. So
now she knows
know nothing about that. Now I look for it though. What is that?
It's basically it's kind of like a luxury Crown Royal. It's a golden apple. I think I forgot how much. It's kind of an expensive bottle of Crown, and they just came out with it. I saw a couple people on TikTok do a review on it.
Okay.
They said it's pretty. The aftertaste is pretty strong. Okay. So, but I haven't seen it down here in Clarksville. So
you ain't seen it here?
I haven't seen it here yet. So I don't know if they got it online or wherever they live at. Maybe it's available in their market, but here I haven't seen it. I just got the Sunny D vodka seltzer. I just got that. So I'm gonna do a review on that. And y'all can also check out the reviews too on the channel. As well. Me and my boy James, we do these reviews and we laugh and joke, have a good time. So
yeah, I've been watching that.
Yeah, definitely been putting him on some stuff, and he's been putting me on things as well. But that Sunny D vodka seltzer, I've been waiting for months for that to actually come to Clarksville. I found it, so I'm gonna give it a try. I'll see what it's all about. I'm gonna see if it's good. If my review is in line with their review. If it is, hey, I'm gonna keep buying it. That's just how I am.
Fun. That sounds like fun.
It is definitely fun.
Hey, do y'all be getting really toasty doing that stuff?
Actually, yeah, because we actually shoot in one night. So we do all those reviews in one night. So of course,
Ooh, okay.
yeah, we'll go ahead and do it in one night. So we don't gotta worry about it because we got other things that we do.
Right,
So I
right,
just
right.
spread the videos out over the course of a month. So
That's pretty cool. Man, one night.
yeah.
That's a lot of drinking. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, especially when you gotta go to work the next day.
Right.
Before we go any further, man, this episode is sponsored by Joe Shakinab and Shakinab.com. Go visit
Okay.
Shakinab.com for services, monthly updates, and contact information. Once again, visit Shakinab.com, promoting leadership and scholarship.
That's right.
So, C. Reed, man, why don't you go and introduce yourself, man? Let the people know what you do, man, and tell us some more about your platform and everything like that.
Okay. Well, hey, can we cuss on here?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I'm C. Reed. My name's Chad, man. I grew up in Clarksville. My platform is the JUS channel. We do a whole bunch of interviews. I really wanted to do it because I like getting into people's lives, man. I'm just like, you know how like you meet the regular person and you find them interesting and like, cause I feel like I'm not regular. So when I meet people and I be wanting to get into them and like, I be like, man, you a cool person, dog. Like, come sit down with me. Like, let's chop it up. That's what I be on. I want to see the regular average person that I feel like you're just not regular to me. I just want to get into your life, see where you come from, because most people don't even know. You know, Clarksville is full of, it's just like, it's mixed. You got your home people who grew up here, but a lot of people ain't from here. So I be trying to figure out where people from, why they talk the way they talk, why they act the way they act. Because I be thinking that's cool, man. It's just really a platform for the regular person to really come and show their true colors, man. So we can get into, I like funny stories. I like deep stories. I like doing couples therapy. I like to feel like, because me and my wife got a kind of like a great relationship, so I can kind of understand a lot of people now because I've been there. I've done that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I try to help out. I love to laugh. That's why I got my platform, really to get into regular people, get into their lives, man. It's really something simple, and it's growing. As I grow, as I get smarter and start figuring out editing and all of that, I start opening it up and start getting different people doing different things, you know. That's really why I started, just to talk to the regular person about regular shit. That's all.
That's what's up. And y'all make sure y'all please go subscribe to his channel, man.
Yeah, please.
So
do.
let's please support. If you haven't checked it out, please go check out his platform. Also let them know where they can find you at on social media as well.
Yeah. I'm on let me see. I'm not good with the social media stuff, but check this out. I'm on Facebook as JUS Channel. I'm on TikTok, JUS Channel 4L. And then I'm on Instagram as JUS Channel, JUS _channel. And then I sound cool saying that. I ain't never said that before. JUS _channel. And then I got my YouTube. It's the JUS channel on YouTube, JUS channel, which stands for Just Us, because I made it for my family so we can always have something to look at and go check out. Just Us as the city, Just Us, whoever, man. Just something so we can go check it out anytime we want to see ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Here's some local lingo, whatever. It's just for us, man. That's all.
Yeah, like I actually, let me see. How long ago did you start your channel? It was about 2
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so we pretty much started our platforms around the same time.
Yeah, definitely did.
And I remember when I first saw it, I was like, I think it was the one when my brother was on there.
Yeah, Dodo.
Yeah. And I seen that. I was like, yo, that is a cool platform right there, because it was just, you know, when you got some of these people who does stuff like that, they want to make it like a interview, really trying to get deep and personal with somebody, right, or trying to get a story. With that, it feels like something I could watch, sit back and watch the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And just enjoy everybody who just on there, just, telling their story, or even promoting themselves, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. And you can tell that, they having fun and feel relaxed on your platform.
See, that's how I wanted it. That's cool. That's cool that you see it like that. That's how I wanted it.
Yeah, so I've been paying attention for quite some time, and I'm gonna be honest with you. You know this; those 2 years go by pretty quick.
Oh my God!
So
fast.
they go by so fast. I mean, let me see. Back on the 18th was the 2nd year anniversary of my first episode being released.
Dang.
So
congrats.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's
so
a big
it's
deal.
it's going by fast because you're having fun with it. And like you're able to meet different people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I created this platform, was to be able to meet different people, take them out of their element for a little bit, for about 45 minutes to like hell about 2.5 hours, depending on how many people on the episode at that particular time. But it's just something that's fun, man. Just continue to grow, and many blessings to you, man. I hope you're bigger than Vlad TV one day.
Hey, that's dope, man, because I plan to be. I'm going to keep pushing. And I need to tell you this. I've been watching your show since you started, too, for real. And I love it. I love sitting down. I love conversation. I love how comfortable you are behind the mic and the camera. I just love it. I'll be watching and I'm taking notes and all of that, but I'm learning from you, too, man. For real, though.
Yeah. And, like, I don't think I ever told this story on this particular podcast. I told some friends about it. I don't know. I've done over 100 episodes, so I don't remember. Yeah. But the way this podcast came about was I was at a friend's house watching a fight, right? This was a few years ago. This was before COVID happened, actually. Before COVID happened, we was watching a fight, and the fight ended in a knockout, so it was over early, but it was still late and whatnot, so we was there drinking. Some of them was smoking and whatnot. I don't really smoke. But we were just talking about random things, laughing and joking, like just the rest of the night. And I'm thinking like, man, it's really after dark. I mean, but we still drinking, they still smoking, we still laughing and cutting up. Man, I'm gonna make this into a podcast. And then fast forward 2021. Yeah, 2021. I started my podcast and been going strong ever since.
That's right, baby.
So
that's dope, man.
And we talk about everything on this podcast. So, if there's anything that y'all want to talk about, you feel free to come on here. We'll talk about it.
That's dope.
So
that's how I feel. I say the same thing. Anything. Let's chop it up.
Definitely. So when you first started your platform, like were you like a little nervous when you first started it? Did you like know like how it was going to go, or was there like a particular plan in place when you first started this platform?
Nah, I think this is awesome because I ain't never get to do this. Nobody don't get to hear my side. So I think this is cool. Okay. Nah, I didn't have no plan. What it was I used to tell my wife, because are you married?
Yep, actually, I just celebrated 8 years last week.
Man, congratulations! That's a big deal too these days. That's a great deal. Good job.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So you sit around and we pillow talk all the time. That's my wife. We talk about a lot. And I was just like, man, I want to do this and I want to do that, because I used to be in the music and I always kind of like been in the forefront, like out here in my city, like always in the way and in the scene. But I was like, man, I wonder if I did this thing where everybody come and mess with me, because I wanted to make something. One of my guys, he put me onto this website and it was about interviews, but it was a lot of interviews. It was different interviews, different people talking to different people in life. But he lives in California, it's millions more than that's here. So he got it's a huge platform, but he put me on it and said, this is a great way to start you something if you want to start. So I thought about it. I was like, man, I got enough people around here that I can do something like that. I got a big enough family. I'm thinking family first. Like, I'm going to just get my family on it. And maybe the town will jump on it, and maybe we can do this and do that. So I used to tell my buddy, he's dead now, Mookie. I don't know if you know Mookie. Marcus Grinstead. That's one of my close friends. But I was telling him about it, and he was like, he was kind of harsh. And he was like, hey, stop talking about this shit. Just do it. I'm tired of hearing about it. Because I used to always say, I'm going to do this and do that. Because I'm a big procrastinator. I'm not going to lie. It's just a part of me. If you know me, you know that's just how I am. I'm not even ashamed of it no more. It is what it is. So I was telling him about it, and he was like, man, stop talking. You're telling me something. You don't do nothing. So just to get back at him, I did an episode. I just did one for myself. It was just me sitting there talking, smoking weed. And I just said, fuck it. Let me just talk. I started talking. And I made an episode. Then I got my mom and my brother to sit down, and I got my wife to sit down with me, and I got some more of my partners to sit down. And then I started getting phone calls. My buddies was like, hey man, come on now, I got a story to tell. I've been telling me about this. And I got another older friend, he'd been to the penitentiary a few times. And he was telling me, he always used to tell me stories. I know all of the stories. And I was like, hey bro, will you come on and tell him some of this? Tell him some of that. And when he came on, it was epic. And I was like, okay, here we go. Now I got kind of like a direction. I'm gonna get into people's lives and try to get some interesting people and talk about this and talk about that. So it kind of like, it wasn't a plan. It was just to get back at somebody. I started something, then I stuck with it, man. And then it became something. All my friends started calling me and saying they'll come on. I got other people that I started calling, and I started getting back to the roots of it because I thought about that website, and I was like, well, maybe I could really like get into something. Start asking questions, and maybe because it was just in the beginning. If you follow, it was just people talking. We was just on there, just doing nothing on camera, and I was editing it and just putting funny parts and not. And then I started really like paying attention and started asking questions, and it got interesting and it got real fun. The editing of it was more fun than doing it because I was like, man, it's cool. We're talking about this and that. And I started jotting down notes like maybe I'll ask a person this time. I ask them this and that. So it didn't start with no plan or anything. It just started. That was the whole point, starting. Once I got started, once you don't, if you're the type of person like me, I don't like letting people down. I don't like feeling like even though I am a procrastinator, I don't want you to look at me like that. So the fact that I started it was everything. So I started it and I don't want to let you down no more. So I keep coming. I keep going. Now I'm 2 years in, 2.5 years in, and I'm still going. Same thing.
When you were first starting, were you kind of like waiting to get like the right setup for your platform, or was it just, you just was like you say, you were just procrastinating, like I'm gonna do it the next day, I'm gonna do it the next day? Because I know you got a lot of people out there who now, even in our own city, they want to do like what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
But they want to get the right lighting, they want to get the right setup, the cameras and the microphones, not knowing that there's ways to just get started.
Man, you said it perfect. I was on some, see, that's what I'm saying, man. When you come to do this kind of thing, it's kind of like you got to get egos out of the way. You got to like you got to, pride got to be gone. You just got to do it. That's the thing. If you're ready to go now, go now. That was my problem. I wanted to look professional, baby. I don't want it to look like this and I don't want to look like that. But I wasted a lot of time instead of just jumping in, getting started getting experience in it. But I mean, everything happens for a reason. That's how it happened for me. But I feel like if I could give advice about starting, don't worry about that. Don't worry about if you got the things right, if you're ready for this and if that, because that's a part of procrastinating. If you're ready to go, go. Start making, like you don't have to, even if you start, you don't have to upload it. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Just get started. That's the whole point. Once you start doing it, you're gonna start getting better. Every episode is better. Every time that you get on the mic, you're gonna feel more comfortable. That's another thing. You can't be on here like because once you start, you're gonna feel like, here we go. But you gotta learn. Like it's not just gonna be it's simple. You gotta get comfortable. Like it's a whole process. So start now. If you feel like you want to start now, you should. So to answer that question, it's like, just start. Like, you know what I mean? Don't wait for this and don't wait for that. Just start now because it gives you more ideas. But by the time you're really ready to upload and to do it like officially, you might even be at a better, higher level than you would be when you think you're ready to really start. So start now. That's what I would do.
Yeah, like for y'all don't know, I actually started my podcast on an app. It was called Anchor, which is owned by Spotify. And they just recently changed the name of the app to Spotify for podcasters. So basically, I started with just my iPhone and an app. And that's how I did it.
That's how you do it.
That's how I did it. Real talk. Because at first, I didn't want to go on camera because I'm still trying to figure this out. Like you said, getting better with every episode. How do I want this platform to be? So when I do get on camera, I could continue on. I'm taking the audio and just putting a visual to it. So when I started with the app, that first episode for me, my boy Marcus, my very first guest, he's actually the first person I told about this podcast of mine.
Uh-huh.
And when we did it, it was just like, okay, this is exactly how I want it to be, because we don't know. We don't know the direction. We don't know how we wanted, to present it to the world out there. Exactly. And I was like, this is exactly how I want this. And it came the very first episode and it clicked. And everything, all the little details you work on, like the introduction, and do you want to have like the intro music, the outro music?
Right.
All that stuff could come a little later. But, only thing you really need to really get started is like a phone or a camera, a microphone, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be on camera, you could they got apps out there where you can record a podcast and upload it.
Yeah.
And it will distribute a podcast to other platforms. So just go out there and get started. Don't worry about all this fancy equipment and all of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because eventually it will come. People will start paying attention to it. And once you start growing, then you can start, sponsorships, ads, and all that other stuff to where you can continue to invest in your platform. And who knows? I mean, maybe you start getting a guest that, like some of us might not ever get. You might get a celebrity on there one day.
No, for real.
That's
real. Hey, I got a question to ask you.
Yeah.
When you told your friend about it, you said he was the first one. How was he? How was his response to you saying that you wanted to do it?
So it was all positive. When I told him the name of my podcast, and he was like, yo, do it. Because I just came up with it right then and there. It was like, hey, why not? Nobody has his name. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. And he was like, yo, that's going to be a good podcast. And the original way I actually had it set up, I was going to have 2 other co-hosts with me. But one actually moved away and the other one kind of like fell out. So it was a bit like, I could do this myself.
Hold on. You said kind of fell out. What happened? Let's talk about it, baby.
No, we was going to do it. And then really it was my fault because like you, I was kind of procrastinating and stuff. So I went to high school with him. So that was cool and whatnot. Right. So I was procrastinating. And then I was like, I wasn't going to do it. And then when I got my iPhone, and this is the first iPhone I ever had, by the way, because I was never an iPhone user.
Right.
So when I got it, I was like, you know what? I got a new phone. I'm just go ahead and just start this thing. And I did. And there it is. So
there you go. That's dope. That's dope, man.
And actually one of them was on my podcast early on. So real cool guy, man. He's we had a lot of fun. Just talking, man. That's all it is. It's really nothing. I didn't want to have a podcast where we just talk about one thing.
Right.
I don't like
talk
that.
About it all, man. Just makes it more interesting.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you ever go on YouTube and you see these platforms, they talk about relationships all the time.
Yeah. All the time. Yeah. So I only go on there when I want to hear that shit. Trust me, I know. I don't want to hear that shit all the time. Trust me.
And it's the same message, right? There's certain platforms out there where they get the same type of females that's not as bright as they are. And then they trying to make, I'm like, why don't you get somebody that's more intelligent that could break down, stuff more intelligently,
Because it's going to make them look bad, dog. Trust me, I be on the same thing. I say the same thing. I be like, yeah, they think they slick. They got her on there or this certain type of person. I say the same exact thing because the same girls be on the same thing. They trying to get some money out of you or something like that. They get the same people and then they just tell them the same things. This is all y'all want, so it's hard as a man and all this. It's the same thing. Trust me, all the platforms be on the same thing, just trying to up one. That's it. Everybody want to up one. That's all I'm gonna tell her about herself. This and this. They been telling them stuff that we all know, though. That's what we saying. It's the same old thing. Talking about relationship, same old shit, though. It don't be no, I'm gonna get this woman that might up one on me. It don't be that. Nah, they wouldn't do that.
Do you think because when we went through a pandemic, it was just a few years ago, and you saw a lot of content creators coming out of that because everything was shut down, and you start seeing people creating their own platform because they knew there was a need for it.
Yeah.
And do you think because of that, and they pretty much just stuck to one topic, you think that in a way it kind of hurts them? Because, I understand like this is your bread and butter, people going to pay attention to it. But after a while, people are going to be like, hey, are you going to start?
There you go. It definitely hurts them. But this is only, see, this is what I say when I say this is my opinion. Some of my people get offended by the way I talk sometimes, but this is my opinion. It definitely hurts. We got to be able to, you got to be versatile. To me, I don't want to okay, I watch a certain podcast myself. So when I go on that podcast and I keep hearing the same stuff, okay, yesterday I heard you tell somebody that, and then I just watched you a couple of days ago and you just told somebody the same thing. And it's kind of, that's what it gets to be. I don't know big words, so it's kind of like the same old shit for real. So yeah, it gets played out. So I want to go to the next podcast. Maybe they talking about something different. So yeah, you'll kind of like lose people interest because it's going to be the same thing. You might be growing or you might get different people, but the people that you have like as your base people is going to get bored because it's the same thing. Yeah, I feel like it's not a good thing. You got to be able to switch it up.
Do you think a lot of people create the same type of podcast because they see the attention that it brings in?
Definitely. But see, what I did notice, because I do go on YouTube and just watch stuff. What I did notice is, like you said, I think you hit it right on the head, man. People do. I've been watching this type of podcast, and I've been watching and seeing what they've been talking about. So I kind of feel like I know about it. So yeah, I'm gonna start one like that so I can tell people the same thing. It's kind of like that. I've been watching people do that, and then they run out of stuff to talk about because it's the same thing. I've been watching this podcast, so I'm gonna make one just like it. And they would think that you would think that they would come on and start switching it up a little bit so they can be more attractive to other people, but it's not like that. Everybody come on and do the same thing because they seen this podcast and they might feel like they know about it because this podcast I always talk about this. And I know I heard him say this before, so I can say it and make themselves sound like they're doing something. But I seen it. I might sound like I'm hating, but it's some real stuff. I seen it. People come on and just copy other people from what they're saying.
And here's a follow-up question, because I kind of noticed this. Going back to the pandemic, to me, the one guy that stood out, who really blew up during that time, was Kevin Samuels, right?
Yeah. I was a big fan. And
you saw what he was doing, and you got people who are still doing what he's doing. There's actually a woman basically doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
But you have like all the other podcasts basically taking his concept, right, and using it for their own platform. But they can't really be him.
No, never.
Because it was only one him. Because let's just be honest, it felt
different. That's why I loved it.
It was different, you know what I mean? It was like, dang, nobody ever really done this before like that.
He was bold, man.
Bold, but also in a way kind of he was smart in a way, because if you saw the video after his passing, he was basically doing this same concept just with men. But he said, once I start talking about women, specifically Black women, that's when he's going to start getting all that attention.
Yeah, because they are, they can get a little aggressive. They're not always on that. You're right. I believe it.
But now you start seeing that concept with all these other different platforms, dealing with, men versus women, the roles, the relationships and the marriage and all, basically the same thing being repeated, but it seemed like you were preaching the same message that's not getting through because everybody just want to win that particular argument.
Right. It's like arguing with your wife, same thing.
Yeah. It's like, I think that's why probably I appreciate sports debates more so, because they don't stay on one sport. They talk about all different sports,
right,
and stuff like that. That's why I watch the First Take every morning. That's my morning news. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch nothing like that.
Yeah.
I watch First State. It was Skip and Shannon, but Shannon ain't there no more. So I don't know
He
what they gonna
gone.
do. He gone.
Shannon from where I'm from in Georgia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we from the country.
Well, yeah, I could tell.
Yeah. Country boys, man.
Definitely, I could tell. Like with your platform, are you looking to expand out to do other things under the name of Just Channel?
Definitely. Like I see, that's what I'm saying, man. I got so many ideas, but what I'm gonna start doing is start stepping toward them ideas. Like I got an idea where it's just cooking. Like I'm about to go meet up with a whole bunch of people that's making certain meals and things like that, and we about to chop it up with them while they make this meal. You know what I mean? Like things like that. Like I got different ideas of stuff, and that's not the only one. That's just one that I'm saying right now. But I'm definitely gonna expand. It's gonna be different interviews, different like let's kind of like I'm gonna have mother-daughter interviews, father-son interviews, sister, brother, just people interviewing each other. Other than me being there, that's really where I wanted to take it to. I wanted to get people just having good conversations. That's it. But I definitely am, and I want to expand. I want to keep moving. I want to do a whole bunch of stuff. I got a whole bunch of stuff coming. The thing is just putting my foot down and doing. That's it. But yeah, I definitely want to expand, man. Definitely.
If you had to pick somebody, right?
Yep.
Let's just say a celebrity, a famous person, whether they're dead or alive, and you had the opportunity to bring them onto your platform and interview them, who would it be?
Man, that's a good one.
Remember, it'd be dead or alive. It's just that one person. Like, man, if I ever had the opportunity to interview them, who would it be?
That's a good one, but it would have to be Tupac, man. Definitely, it would have to be, just because I feel like, hell yeah, it would have to be Pac. I would love to sit down and just pick his brain, because I feel like he, like me, he got different layers. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get into from music to politics to sports to it would have to be Pac, because I feel like he would be the only one that I would understand. I feel like when he was, I was young when he was out and doing all of this, but I felt like I understood him. Like, I feel you, dog. I feel why you doing all of this and why you went that way with it. I felt like I felt him, even though it's kind of like he lived like a crazy life. He was all over the place, like for real. He was all over the place, literally. Like he was all over the place. Mentally, he was everywhere. He was actor. He was this and that, and the artist and all of that. It would have to be Pac, man. It would have to be. He would be the best for me and my platform, because I would sit there with him for hours. I wouldn't even let him go back to what he was doing. I would just keep going with him. It would have to be Tupac.
With Tupac, yeah, I know what, he definitely be a great guest, because all you gotta do is just put that camera in front of him.
That's it.
And just let him do his thing. You ask him one question and just let him go. I mean,
and that's the perfect person to interview. Just so y'all know, it's not easy when you're talking to people that don't know how to talk, or they get nervous in front of the camera or stuff like that. A lot of the times I have to coach a lot of people through what's going on. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy. It's not easy for me now. There's these cameras in my face. I'm in here hot and everything. I ain't never done this. This is pretty cool. But it's a lot of pressure. So I understand, man. Some people get over and get nervous. And it's not all peaches and cream. Like sometimes I have to coach people through a whole hour of talking. But that's behind the scenes type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's some work. It's definitely some work, especially if they've never been in that space before, because they see it and they think, oh, because they in front of a camera, they do it. They think, oh, we could do it too.
Yeah.
Now understanding that those bright lights hit you, and now that camera is on you, now you're like, oh man, what am I supposed to say now? What am I supposed to do?
I was gonna say this, and I was gonna say that, froze up on me. It happens all the time.
But it's good though, especially for individuals who are trying to really push their brands out there.
Definitely.
It might be their first time ever doing it because they were never asked to do it.
Yeah.
You know, so if you look at my platform, a lot of people, this is their first time ever doing an interview on any type of platform. So I think, especially when you're like, I do mine on Zoom, as y'all can see, because I like to drink. I don't like to drive when I'm drinking. So
be responsible. That's all good.
You gotta be responsible. So I just figured, you know what? I'm relaxed, and you should be relaxed too. Right. And be yourself in front of that camera. You ain't gotta show off for nobody. No, anything like that. Now I would say for me, the one guy I would definitely interview, more than anything else. I don't know. That's a lot of people.
That's hard, ain't it? When you tell me on the spot like that, that's rough. That's rough.
I didn't really think it. I didn't think this through. I asked you this question. I didn't even. I don't. You know what? I'm gonna have to go with a guy who had his own show who just retired recently.
Who?
Maury.
Okay.
I gotta ask him because when you watch him and you watch his demeanor, how he's so chill and relaxed, you always want to know how somebody can do it for so long like that.
Right.
Especially, what's your secret to actually, getting to that point? Even though he does the same show, you still tuned in because you want to know who's going to celebrate. Is it going to be the woman or is it going to be the man? But
even though that type of thing, that would be a good one though. Because all we see is him asking is you the mama or if you the daddy or whatever this show is about. But you gotta think of him as a person. Man, we all are intricate, like we all have pieces to us. He would be a great person to interview because you gotta know, he knows that this ain't what he all about, but he knows this is how he's winning. So you would have to really get into his brain to see what type of person he is, because all we know is he just keeps saying this and he's this type of person. But he's got to be an intricate person to even keep doing that, because that's a special person. Like if I'm gonna keep doing this, even though I know this is how I'm winning, I know he wanted to get into some deep stuff or do some other things like that, but this is how he's winning, so he keeps going with it. So that would be a good one, just to feel like what type of person he is. That would be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, the second person I got to interview will have to be Snoop. I mean, I gotta talk to him because I already know he's gonna let you know some things, right?
Not for real.
He's gonna let you know.
Snoop. I always felt like this. I don't know Snoop, and I lived in LA for a little while, right? But I always said if I run into Snoop, me and him gonna vibe. I always said that just the type of person he is, he might not even think about me again. But I always said if I was to see him, me and him gonna vibe. I don't know why. He just seemed like that type of person. So he'll be a great interview too. Yeah,
definitely. He's an icon now. He's much more than he's pop culture.
Yes, sir.
Everything he does turns into gold, and he could work with anybody. I mean, listen, he done a cooking show with Martha Stewart.
Yes, sir, and it was a great show. I used to watch every episode. I watched them all.
So he does whatever he want to do, turn into gold, and it's all about asking those type of questions. How you're able to sustain the level of success. That's what a lot of people don't ask. They don't ask the right questions, in my opinion.
Right.
They ask you how you get there, but they don't ever ask you, hey, how do you maintain this level?
Right. That's the question to ask. Yeah, you might have my secret on how to get here, but how you gonna stay here? That's the thing. So you're right. That's a good one.
So I always want to ask those questions, you know what I mean? So when I'm able to get to that point, I know what to look forward to when I get to that point. So I'm not here 1 minute and the next minute I'm not here anymore. So
right.
That's the type of person I am. So what I know you asked some questions on your platform and everything like that. So I'm gonna ask you some more questions. Yeah. Kind of like a speed round question thing, whatever. However you want to call it. All right. So first thing we're gonna start off with is, what's your favorite color?
Red. And I say red. I say red because I'm a dark-skinned dude and I look good in red. So that's the only reason why I say red.
Well, red is my favorite color too. So even though I got on blue, my red is in the dirty clothes right now. So we're good with that. Your favorite movie of all time?
Life.
Favorite TV show?
Ugh. Oh no, I'm a weirdo when it comes to that kind of shit because I like certain stuff that most people wouldn't even watch. But I would say King of Queens. That's probably number one. People would
You
think
watch?
Martin and all of that, but I'm a King of Queen fan. I can watch that shit over and over and over and over and over.
You like Kevin James?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Especially on that show. On that show, he's hilarious to me. So I can watch that shit over and over. And I was in love with Carrie for a while. But yeah. I love that show.
Your favorite song of all time? Like if there's a song out there, all right, I break it down by genre, right? Let's just say your favorite rap song.
Okay, because I'm huge on music. Music is my life. So favorite rap song, man, I don't even know if I could do that. Favorite rap song, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know. That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
All right.
One favorite. Yeah, that's too hard.
All right. What about favorite R&B song?
See, when I tell you music, when I say music, I get goosebumps. That's how serious music is to me. It's hard, man. Favorite R&B, I don't know.
Okay, I'll break it down a little better for you. Your favorite artist. If there's one artist that you gotta play, you actually have to play to be number one on your list. Who's your favorite artist? It could be all time, regardless of what genre they're in. It just all time.
Let me see. Man, that's rough. You don't even know. My brain is everywhere right now. I'm just thinking of a one. Man, that's rough because I grew up old school. I love this new stuff. I'm just gonna say, I don't know. I say Tupac again. I don't know. I just go with that. That's nowhere near what it is, but I'm gonna go with one. I'm just gonna answer your question because it's hard. I'm a huge on music. Huge.
Favorite sport?
Basketball.
Who's your team? Like if there's a team that you...
Yeah, I don't have a team. NBA, I don't have a team because I'm a LeBron fan. So that could be plenty of teams. But college, I'm a Tennessee fan. Yeah, that's about it. Anything Tennessee and LeBron. Here we go.
Okay. Well, speaking of LeBron, do you think he's the greatest over Michael?
Yeah. To me, see, I get in. See, now everybody finna be ready to argue with me. But I could do this all day. I'm down with the king. This is LeBron all the way with me. I've been having this argument since I became a LeBron fan. I've been watching him on ESPN in high school. I didn't watch Jordan in high school. And I know it was because of the times and all of that, but I'm just a LeBron fan. It is what it is. I watched his whole career, so that's who I chose to be the man in my eyes. But anybody can see it any other way. Like sometimes the fact that we don't even mention Kobe throws me off too, because Kobe is the truth. Kobe was a whole different thing, but that's in people's eyes, man. Some people count Kobe out now. Kobe should be considered as one of the best, definitely, but they don't even talk about him, so that throws me off. But I'm down with the king. I don't even like Jordan. I never liked Jordan, but that's rare. That's crazy. That's rare, and I'm a huge basketball fan, but I never liked Jordan. That's just what it is. And that new documentary that came out, they was talking about Jordan, the new one, the 4-part documentary that they had on Jordan. Damn, what was it called? Anyway, that gave me a whole different respect of Jordan. Just seeing that, because I always felt like he was all right. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't all that. I watched him. Back in them days, I felt like he didn't separate himself from everybody else other than the rings. If he wouldn't have had them rings, and he would have been like anybody else, because everybody was good back in them days. But he got 6 rings, so that was a big difference. You know what I'm saying? So I respect him, but he's not my type of player. So that's an easy one with me. Some people would be like, man, how you don't like? I'd be like, because I didn't, Nick. That's easy. He's just not my type of player, but I'm down with the king, man. LeBron, baby.
Yeah, I'm that debate is going to continue to go on. I don't think it's ever going to stop.
What you think?
Oh, it's Jordan. It ain't no.
Okay.
It's Jordan. And like you, listen, you gotta understand. I was a freshman in high school when LeBron was a senior in high school.
Right.
So we heard about LeBron for like 2 years prior to me getting to high school.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like when you finally see him on ESPN, he basically changed high school basketball. Let's call it what it is.
Definitely.
Because of him, you start seeing all these high school players getting their games on ESPN and things like that because they're like, hey, this is the next wave of NBA players, and all of that.
Unheard of when we was in school. When we was in school, it was unheard of. ESPN, what? We trying to get on local TV. So yeah, that was unheard of.
Yeah. And you gotta think he was playing in front of sellout crowds in high school. You know what I mean? So you had him, you had Oak Hill Academy.
Yes, sir.
Him and Carmelo.
Yeah.
With their with their classic battle, they've been going head to head from high school all the way through the pros. So
basketball ain't been the same since.
No, it hasn't. And you see it now with, they have these tournaments and everything like that with these high school players. Of course, they're going to showcase the top tier talent, and stuff like that. So he changed the game. I mean, you can't definitely change the game. In high school,
how you still stick with Jordan? But we're talking about that later. We ain't talking about nothing.
We could talk about it right now. This is why I stick with Jordan. I felt like, to me, Jordan was more dominant in his era than LeBron was more dominant in his.
Well, can you say that? In his era? So you saying who other than LeBron? What?
Let's put it this way. All right. LeBron is, to me, number 2, right? He's number 2.
You talking about all time, right?
All time.
Okay.
Right? I got Kareem number 3.
Okay.
Which nobody talks about Kareem at all, which, like, you talk about Kobe. But nobody talks about Kareem, but you got to give his respects where respect is due, what he did his entire career. I just feel like Jordan and what he has done, particularly in the 90s, right? Mm-hmm. That was pretty much his era. We could talk about, the 80s, but we all know the 80s was basically about Magic and Larry.
Yeah.
Right? But the 90s came around, Jordan pretty much dominated the entire 90s.
He definitely did. Definitely.
So when I look at from that standpoint, I got to give the edge to Jordan. Now, when people make the argument about, okay, LeBron has more points. Well, he played more years. When he been to more finals, he lost 6. Mm-hmm. When you also think about what else? I'll put it to you this way. LeBron did something that Jordan. Well, I don't think it's really LeBron. Not Jordan. I think it was pretty much the players of that era. They kind of wanted to beat each other, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't want to team up like that unless you were drafted to that team or you got traded, because back then they didn't have the free will to move like they do now.
Yeah.
Well,
they got
LeBron,
more of a say so now. You're right.
Yeah, they got more of a say so. And you got these big market teams with more money, so now they could go over that luxury tax, make those type of moves and everything. I just feel like what ruined LeBron, to me, was his years in Miami.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that he should have won 4 straight. Let's just call it what it is. He lost against Dallas that first year.
Yeah.
Everybody want to talk about he struggled. He did struggle. Mm-hmm. And you gotta give Dirk credit because he took that championship.
Damn sure did.
And he took that championship, but they came back, won the next 2. I just felt like they could have three-peated if he would have got 3 out of 4, I'd be like, okay, now we on to something.
Right.
Then, you get to you go back to Cleveland. You didn't win that first championship back home. Golden State, which basically started their whole dynasty. Mm-hmm. And of course, you came back the following year, beat Golden State, first team to ever come back down 3-1 and win that championship. which I got some conspiracy theories on that too.
Mm-hmm.
But he won. But this is where I said LeBron James created this era of free movement.
Yeah.
When Kevin Durant went to Golden State, automatically I start thinking about the move of LeBron James going to Miami.
Right.
Because it was kind of like unfair. And as a basketball fan, I want to see the best go against the best.
Right.
I don't like seeing stacked teams because you already know what the end result gonna be.
Right.
So with that being said,
that made LeBron watered down for you.
Yeah. Because I felt like him going back to Cleveland, and in all due respect, he was a free agent, so he could do whatever he wanted to do.
Right.
Right. But I just felt like if you really want to show people that you're better than Michael, you beat the best without teaming up with another top 10 player or whatever. That's the way I see it.
I don't think like that because you got to think now, Golden State was locked and loaded now. Straight up. They was loaded. There wasn't no just, I can beat all of them by myself. So I feel like I used to play ball, right? And I used to play around here. And I grew up with a lot of these guys, but I always wanted to be linked up. Like, I don't know if you know, when I used to play at Northeast, it was another guy at Kenwood I grew up with. We come up together since I've been here. His name was Wyatt Brandt. He was one of the best, but I always felt like I wanted to play with him. Like, that's my boy. If we could have got together, man, we could be anybody type of thing. So I kind of understand what he was on, right? And the fact that when he came back, the fact that he couldn't beat them and he left to try to beat them, to try to get, you know what I'm saying, to that level, I just felt like I understood. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't. Most people will be like, man, that was weak of him and this. But I felt like if you can't beat him, you got to figure out how to. So let me go over here and maybe I can figure it out. Let me see if I can do this. That's just like I'm losing to you every year and I just stay here and just be like, well, I'm going to just be loyal because I'm supposed to be the best. I'm supposed to stay here and just keep taking his ass with me. Hell no. I'm going to go figure out how to do this shit and I'm going to come back and win it like I did. I felt like that was a great move. Some people don't see it like that, but that's just maybe me following my favorite player or being on their side or whatever. But I felt like, and at the time, let me slow down because at the time I felt like, damn, man, my boy leaving. They gonna think he trying to join up, man. But I felt like I understood because.
Well, let me ask you this question real quick. When he first left Cleveland, right? I personally felt like he should have got out of Cleveland the first time. Because you got to think, because you got to remember who was running the Eastern Conference during that time period.
Who was?
It was the Pistons and the Celtics.
Yeah. Okay.
During that time, so it's like
dominant too.
And I could talk about them. That was a failure. Even though they got one championship, that was supposed to be multiple championships.
Yeah, they were supposed to get 5, 6. Yeah,
and that's where the whole Kobe point come into play because Kobe beat him too during that time period. So that's why I was like, hey, y'all not mentioning Kobe. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta look who he done beat.
Yeah.
His last 2 championships. Yeah, he had Shaq the first 3, but those last 2, he was the main guy. So
and that's a big difference. He had Shaq, the most dominant player ever that ever played the game.
Yeah, definitely. But I think him going to Miami, I felt like it was best for him. You know what I mean? But I just felt like that experiment, even though they got 2 championships, it could have been 3 out of 4. He could have won 3 out of 4.
Oh, you feel like he could have done better than what he did.
Yeah.
And I feel like that too, though. I feel like he could have definitely done better. But I feel like them years in Miami was growth. I feel like he went down there to grow. And other people, it's hard to see it like that because he's supposed to be all of this and all of that. But the man is still a man that's still learning and still growing. That's how I felt. I felt like even though everybody said he's supposed to be this and he's supposed to be that, and they started comparing him to MJ from the entry. So it was kind of like he didn't really get a chance to grow in people's eyes. People always said he was supposed to be this already. You know what I mean? Everybody got a chance. Everybody got to grow. He got to learn what his craft is, and he got to figure out how to win and how to be a leader and a championship too. A champion too.
And not only that, but he was the number one ranked player, but he really wasn't recruited like that because they figured he's going straight to the league. So, you know what I mean? He's probably too good to be in college, playing against these guys. So
he was.
Yeah, I mean, when you was he 6'9"?
6'8", yeah, at that time, yeah. Yeah, he's 6'8", 6'9", something like that.
And you 245 as an 18-year-old?
Yes,
Come
sir.
on now.
Yes, sir.
That's a grown man in that.
Nah, for real. He used to run like a deer too, man. That's why I used to love him. That's my type of basketball, running gun, dunk on everybody in the way. That's why I used to love him. That's why I still love him.
Hey, Jordan did it too. He dunked on everybody in his way.
Yeah. MJ was born to me, man. I don't even want to get into that though. People ain't gonna like me. Was
he born?
But when I watched, I ain't gonna say he was born because I watched highlights and be like, ooh, he was nasty. So, but at the time, I wasn't impressed like that, bro. I just felt like if he wouldn't have won them championships, nobody would have liked him. He would have been regular.
Do you think because the game has evolved to where it's more of an up and down game, more of a freelance type game, is much more exciting than back to where? Okay.
No, because I'm a hooper by heart. And I feel like it's really made the game whack because we don't have no big men no more. Everybody want to just come down and shoot a jumper. It's whack. We don't even have highlights like that because everybody just don't nobody want to play their true position. It's no true position. It used to be exciting to see a big man come down and shoot a three. Everybody be like, oh shit, he's shooting a three. But now it's just like natural. Like AD, let me tell you something, man. These finals were so whack. And Jokic,
yeah.
He's the truth. I'm not even going to take nothing from him. He is the truth. Tough guy to play. But AD was so weak against him. You the same size as this dude, if not bigger. Back in my days, man, I would have challenged everything that he did. It was like he was scared to put body on him. Like, these people are so soft. They so soft. These players these days are so soft. That man wouldn't have got a shot off on me. He wouldn't have got a rebound off on me. And I'm talking this shit because I know ball. Straight up. Give me AD body, I would have powerhoused him every time. I would have tomahawk dunked on him every time. None of that shit would have worked. None of that old soft ass one arm bush, man. I would have I'm telling you, that's just me. These players are so soft now that he really dominates because he uses his size because nobody else is going to use their size. It makes no sense to me that what advantage does he have over AD that we can see physically?
Well, you just said physically.
That's
I
it.
mean, he's really more physical than AD.
That's so it. But I'm talking about bulk. That's it.
I mean,
he's not taller. He's not faster.
He's not as athletic either.
No, hell no. That's what I'm saying.
I think what it is.
These players so weak. All AD want to do is come down and do this. You don't want to get no rebounds. See, that's what I'm saying. We had Dennis Rodman's back in the day. That's all he wanted to do, dominate. I want every rebound to come out. We had people that played their role. Now everybody want to be Steph Curry and shoot the trade, and it's whack to me.
Now, speaking of that, because it's been a debate about the American-born players versus the international players and how the international players are pretty much taking over the NBA. Yeah. Jokic, Giannis, Luka.
They're good, though. They really good.
Really good. And then you got to think the draft, that boy from France, Victor, I ain't going to pronounce his last name. I can't even say it. Yeah. But he's pretty much going to San Antonio because they got the number one pick. Right. So with these international players and how they play the game, do you appreciate their game more than the American-born players? Or is it just the fact that some of these guys and the rules has been changed for them to basically play freely? There's less physicality in the game.
Yeah, that's definitely got something to do with it. That too. I just feel like it's the time of the foreigner in the NBA. That's the fad right now. Everybody trying to get them a foreigner that's really good because they playing different than us right now. Because any other time, Americans dominate any other sport. In NBA especially, they dominate. We dominate. But I think that's just like the thing to do. Go get you a foreigner that's really good, that can compete, and he's going to bring more. Because that's what it's about, entertainment. We're trying to entertain everybody. So if I go get me another foreigner and he's the hypest right now in the draft and all of this, that's gonna bring more money to my stadium, more crowds. So that's really what it's about. I'm still trying to heat and trying to get my money and all of that. So that's the fan. That's what's going on. I don't really think we know that they better than anybody because I could get a college player right now that could go and run with dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being true. I can get a high school player, not a high school, but a good college player at Duke or North Carolina that can go run with dude and do the same things that he does. But it's just a hype thing, you know. And on TV, this is the new foreigner. He's from this place and this place. And we got him down here. And so everybody going to be hyped. All of San Antonio, we're going to bring fans out there that's never been there. They hyped up again. You know what I'm saying? San Antonio ain't done shit in a while, but we got a new foreigner. Let's go. He's our next Djokovic or he's our next whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's about, I think. I don't really think that they can. I mean, they might be able to compete like that, but I don't really think it's nothing special about it, like overseas or nothing shit like that. I think we still dominant over here. We still running the show. That's just the fans. That's just what's going on right now. That's how I feel about that.
Okay. Because, I mean, if you really look at when was the last time an American-born player won the MVP in the league?
When is the last time, for real?
Because I think you had Giannis.
Oh boy
twice.
just won it though, didn't he?
Jokic won it the last 2 years. I think before it was
oh boy.
Embiid won it this past. Yeah, Joel Embiid. Nah, he's not from here.
Shit. Okay.
So you start seeing these. I don't know. Maybe it's the way they play. Like they trying to get away from something. Like how you brought up Dennis Rodman, right?
Yeah.
The way he played, like he was trying to get away from something. So he played like that.
No,
so
a lot of,
you know. So I don't know what it is.
He had a different hunger. No, you're right. Maybe that is it. Maybe they trying to change their lives of people. They got people on their backs. Like I got to carry this place. So maybe that is it. Because they are definitely dominating right now. So that might be it. And you know, in America's boy, we can be a little too nuts, man. We can be a little spoiled for real, bro. As far as that's why Africans don't like us. They don't like it. They think we all spoiled. But anyway, yeah, we can be like that. So that might be it. They might got a different drive, different hunger than us.
Yeah, and I also think the AAU culture has kind of ruined it a little bit. You know, some people want to attribute, you know, certain guys in the league has changed the league. You know, you got like the Dr. J, the way he played with his style and grace with Bird and Magic, with their rivalry, what they did, and Jordan came in. Nobody's seen that before.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you got a Shaq that, like you said, people were like, hey, man, this when you got a guy that can rip a whole goal down, that's some scary stuff right there.
That shit was exciting. I used to love watching that dude.
Then you got LeBron, who nobody's seen anybody as athletic at his size.
Yes.
And then you got Steph Curry coming in, basically changed the entire game to really a 3-point shooting contest.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's what we got.
Yeah.
In the game. So, you know, there's still some influences out there, but the ones who's dominating the game are international players.
Yeah,
so you can't.
You're right too. You're right. I can't even take that from them. You're right.
You know, and we've seen it basically for quite some time. I think now it's more distinct now, because back then, like Tim Duncan, who's not from here, he's an international, but we still, you know, we consider him the greatest power forward of all time.
Tim Duncan ain't from here?
No.
I thought he went to Wake Forest, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to Wake Forest, but he's not. He's basically from the Virgin Islands, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, so he's considered international.
I used to love Tim Duncan. He was very boring, but I used to love him.
If you're a fan of basketball, like you said, then you love his game, because it wasn't all flash, but he's gonna give you that business on that block. So
he's gonna give you 20 a game, definitely.
I'm gonna ask you this question. I don't know if you saw this, right? And before we move on, last topic. When it comes to LeBron James versus Jordan, I will always say this. to me, everybody keep talking about the killer instinct, killer instinct, killer instinct. That's why so many people love Kobe, because we all know he basically took Jordan's game and just he was killing people with it because he had that dog in him.
That's why they call him the Mamba. Yeah.
So I think a lot of people look at LeBron like, if you're gonna be compared to Jordan, this is the quality. You gotta have that killer instinct, which me personally, I thought he has it. Personally, but everybody can't beat Jordan. I think that's the issue.
That is the issue, because everybody compare him, so they want him to beat just like he do it in different ways. I feel like I don't feel like he got no killer in him. I feel like he does what he knows he can do. Like MJ, whatever, I'm finna score this bucket. Whatever, if I miss it, whatever, it's mine. That's what MJ had, and I came to respect that. Seriously, because I used to didn't like that shit. I used to be like, man, get a ball up, nigga. But I came to respect that because that's a leader. That's what a leader does. I'm gonna put this on my back. That's like the captain going down with his ship. I understand. It makes sense. But I feel like LeBron was always on some, maybe I shouldn't take this shot. Maybe you could win. You know what I'm saying? And maybe to other people, that feels like, you don't want to put the team on your back, all this. But I felt like he was just being responsible, being smart.
I mean, he was making the right plays
today, and I can't.
He was making the right plays. I just thought, a lot of guys with their development, they're not as comfortable with their shot as they some guys who are just come out, they shooters, they're gonna shoot it. Yes, but if you're not known as a shooter, you're kind of like, if you're a streaky guy, you don't have as much confidence in your shot. And I thought LeBron early on in his career, I felt like he was pretty clutch. He just went against better teams.
Yeah, definitely.
When he had that 25 straight against Detroit in the playoffs, he literally carried that team to victory.
I was watching that the other day.
When he was playing against Boston, you saw what he was doing. You knew that team was better, but LeBron is the best player on the court. I felt like it was unfair to LeBron to compare him to Jordan. I never liked that comparison anyway.
Me neither.
I felt like he was more of he's more of an athletic Magic Johnson, basically how he played compared to Jordan. Because because Magic, 6'9" point guard, nobody's seen that before.
No, Magic was the truth. I remember watching him.
And then you have LeBron coming in 6'8", basically running the offense, right? But he was more of a scorer than Magic, but he could pass like Magic. He's a better defender. I guess rebounding wise, I think you could give the slight edge to LeBron, but both guys were very good rebounders.
Definitely.
And things like that. So I felt like he was more a LeBron James, Magic Johnson type player than a Michael. Because there's only one guy you could compare to Michael, and that's the late great Kobe Bryant.
Yes,
that's the way I look at it.
I feel the same way, because they had both had the same mentality. I felt like that's why a lot of people didn't go LeBron way, because as soon as he started doing good, because nobody knew how he was gonna be. When he came in from high school, everybody was always like, I hope the young guy's gonna do this, and I hope he's gonna do that. Nobody knew how he was gonna be. So after them first couple of years, everybody started being like, okay, he might be. And then here come the Jordan talk. So all the Jordan fans was like, shit. And then from the jump, they didn't like it. From the jump, because how they gonna compare him to my guy when it shouldn't even been like that? That was just people doing what they do to make a whole controversy about him being Jordan. He should never been compared to him at all.
And that we in the media basically put that out there, like you said, when it comes to the media and the hype. Yeah, he had all this hype, but like I said, I mean, you didn't know. Nobody knew LeBron was going to be this great, because we don't know how a player's career is going to turn out.
No, for real.
And the greatest thing about LeBron is that he's able to sustain, because one, he takes care of his body.
Yeah.
And he's serious about his body and everything. And which we could tell by some players who don't really care about that body.
Yeah.
We know one down in New Orleans don't care about his body at all. So, but he takes good care of his body, which he's able to sustain a very long career.
Mm-hmm.
But his game, I never thought his game was Michael Jordan-esque. it was more
Definitely
like I said, it was more Magic Johnson than it was Michael.
Bro, you said that shit perfect. He was never like Mike, ever. Nothing that he did was like Mike. Nothing. They should have been comparing Kobe years ago to Mike as soon as he came in. But it was like LeBron. Everybody, as soon as they seen that he was going to be on the track to be really good, it's immediate. He think he Jordan. Everybody comparing him to Jordan. When LeBron fans never done that. I tell my boy that all the time. I'm the number one LeBron fan, if you can ask anybody that knows me. I ain't the number one because there's a lot of number ones, but I feel like I am. So I was there from the beginning, and I never thought of Jordan when I thought of LeBron. But all the Jordan fans thought of Jordan when they thought of LeBron. That's why I was always like, I never compared him from the jump, never. Jordan never came out of my mouth, and this is a real LeBron fan. We never compared him, but all the other fans, that's what they threw in, and they kind of fucked up his little legacy with them. You know what I mean? Because I know a guy right now, this is one of my boy Greasy, Kinfolk. He's a huge Jordan fan, right? Huge. So if I bring up LeBron, it's immediately, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Instead of even giving him his props for how good he is, it was always a comparison. So he never even liked him at all. He never liked him at all from the jump because he got compared to MJ. How could they dare say LeBron and Jordan? So he never liked him.
You say you LeBron's number one fan?
Yeah.
Over Shannon Sharp?
Oh yeah. He all right. We just from the same place. I remember one time I was in the movie theater. I was coming out of the movies. This is in Georgia. In Statesboro, matter of fact. It's 30 minutes from Savannah. I was coming out of the movie theater and I was right behind Shannon, right? I didn't know who he was though at that time. I knew who he was, but I never seen him around town. I just always heard about him. And I mean, his calf muscles was big as my head. Cause I was like, man, look at this. Who is this? And then I looked and I was like, oh, okay, that's so what, because everybody was taking pictures and doing this. And he was being cool. He was like, what's up, y'all? What's up? This was back in the days. And I mean, he was huge back in the days. Cut up, had muscles. I'm talking about coming out of muscles. He always been huge like that. That's how I remember seeing him the first time I ever seen him in person. Hey, just had to say that just because he was huge. His calf muscles was as big as my damn head. And I was like, who the fuck is this?
He's still huge now, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
jacked, but he was still jacked back then. This was when he was in college. This is when he was going to the NFL. Dude was huge.
Speaking of that, I want to ask you this question because I kind of touched on this subject a long time ago, and this will be the last subject before we get out of here. Athletes, like in high school, especially the black athletes, do you think they probably should start taking a serious look into like HBCUs and stuff like that?
Oh man, huge. I'm huge on our people. Definitely. That's what we need. We need things like that. We need to take our HBCUs serious, more serious, a serious look than all these other schools, because we can have our HBCUs as far as us as athletes, we can have them as big as Duke and North Carolina and all these big old schools like UT and stuff like that. Man, we need to take that serious, definitely. So we could be taken more serious, because we always just gonna be the, I hate talking like this, but we always gonna be the make him do what we need him to do to put us where we need to get put. That's how I feel them schools look at us. We're gonna make him do this and we're gonna make him do that so he can make us this instead of, and if somebody gonna do that, it needs to be us. We need to do that to ourselves. That's how I feel.
What the so back in the day, we knew for like a black, let's talk like the NFL, right? The black football player that will go to an HBCU like a Shannon Sharp, will go through an HBCU to get to the NFL, right? So you had like Savannah State, you had Tennessee State, you had Grambling, was basically like the creme de la creme of HBCU in the pipeline for the black college football players, to get to the pros. Now, well, let's just go like before, was it this past season? Deion Sanders was at Jackson State, pretty much brought the attention back to the HBCUs. And I love but he was getting a lot of flack over it, right?
That's us. That's us as a people. That's how we do.
But my question is, like, why would they hate on Deion Sanders? I get it. He didn't go to an HBCU. He went to Florida State. I mean, when you're an All-American, you're going to a big school.
Right.
And we ain't gonna say anything. We're gonna say allegedly. We knew all the players was getting paid back then.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, definitely. When I was getting recruited, and I wasn't even as big as them, I was getting money. So yeah, I can imagine.
Do you think because now the NIL deals allow players to pretty much go play anywhere, because they can actually profit off of their name, their image, their likeness? Do you believe that HBCUs can somehow, some way partner up with some business leaders in the community to try to, get these players to come to their schools?
Man. Look,
and we're talking 4 or 5 star athletes. We're not talking, the 2 or 3, which they should have opportunities. So, but we're definitely talking about the 4 or 5 star athletes to come, at least take a visit and see, experience the culture.
I feel like us as a people, we capable of anything. I feel like everything is where it is because of us. I'm big on my people, okay? Everything is where it is because of us. So if we wanted to do this and we wanted to get this person and get these businesses to come in and get this person in, of course it can be done. I just feel like I don't know if everybody want to put in that work because it's not just going to be easy. And these are kids. You're not talking to a grown man who's going to really understand what you're saying. You got to make it appeasing to them. You know what I mean? They kids. They're 18, 19 years old. So whatever you need to do to make it appealing for them to come to your school, you need to do that. It might not feel right for you because we older and all this, and we're not going to do this for kids and all this, but you have to make it look good for them to come to your establishment and then let's go. But I feel like every person that's out of color definitely needs to look at HBCUs first. And it would be great if we all just got on the same page. That kind of, that's like saying world peace. I wish world peace would happen. That kind of shit, it's just unrealistic. You want it to happen, but how can it happen? It gotta, you know what I mean? But we all say it's got to start somewhere. And I would love for all of them to get on the same page and say, we all should go to HBCUs, man, or we all should get it cranking to where HBCUs are first. Because what Deion did was epic. What he did and got started in Jackson was epic. And we all need to do that. Like, I feel like if we could all do that and bring it back to that, Duke and North Carolina and them would be up under us. Like we would have, because all the athletes are black. You already know, man. We all should be, that's the way we should go. I feel like, fuck them other schools. I feel like we should all stay home, look out for each other and type of thing. But, that's just fucked up with life, man. We ain't gonna never get exactly what we want. I just feel like it'll be a good look for us. As much as we do for this country, I think we should look at us first, yeah.
Do you think, and real quick, do you think the coaches, like the coach matters at these particular schools? Because when you think of Deion Sanders, who was at Jackson State, who is now at Colorado, you knew eventually he was going to get that big job because of what he did at Jackson State. So you're mad that he's leaving, but he's giving you the blueprint
and
on how to be successful.
Why be mad? Why be mad? That man came there and gave y'all his time, man. This is not just no regular person. It's prime time. He came down there and got it cranking for y'all. Y'all had celebrities down there. Y'all had that's why I say when it comes to our people, man, we all look out for we try to look out for each other and all like that, but we are each other's worst critic, man. Like, that's how it is. We just look at each other and always find the worst instead of, I appreciate that, Prime. It should have been a handshaking. That's right, Prime. You did great. You did this for that program and that. Now go on and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You brought that and you brought camaraderie and you brought us together. You brought all of this and you got everybody looking at HBCUs again. Now, just because you want to go on, thank you, man. Thank you for your time. But that's not us. We're gonna shoot you down, man. All you got all them arrows in your back. That's what we're gonna do, man. That's just us. That's how we are.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a really good coach and he's improving it on that level now.
He's the best of the best.
He has to do it on this level now. It's going, but you gotta give him some time to turn the whole program around. He ain't gonna come in and just automatically, do that. But when you look at, let's just say who was head coach in Eddie George, Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? He could be that next guy. And
definitely could.
we seen him play. You and I, we seen him play. And not only that, but think about this, right? How many HBCU coaches actually has a Heisman Trophy?
Right. Right.
Like you going to play for a guy who has proven it on not only the highest level in college football, but also in the NFL.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Who has a Heisman Trophy to back it up.
Yes, sir.
And you mean to tell me
and
you ain't
almost a Super Bowl ring.
Man, let me tell you real quick about that Super Bowl.
I'm still hurt too.
All right, so real talk. My mom is from St. Louis.
All right.
So
I used to live there too. I've been there, yeah.
I was living up there while I started going to college up there before I came back home and finished up. I was at Flow Valley.
Okay.
So I was up there and I came back, finished up at Austin Peay. And I was also born in St. Louis too, by the way, but raised in Clarksville.
Okay.
But that particular Super Bowl, right? I'm like, dang, you got the Titans versus the St. Louis Rams, right? My grandparents and a lot of my family members up there in St. Louis, I know they probably know good thing cell phones wasn't a big thing back then, but we would have got a lot of text messages like, you see that? You see that?
Better know it.
You better know it. And I was kind of disappointed they didn't get it because I'm like, man, we are 1 yard shy of getting this thing done. But
stretch.
Yeah, he tried to stretch it, but man, just ain't long enough, wasn't close enough.
Yeah.
And you got to give credit to the guy who made that tackle, man, because he really saved that Super Bowl for him. But that was one of the all-time great Super Bowls that's out there. But when you have a guy who played in the Super Bowl, has a Heisman Trophy, I mean, Tennessee State could be running things. I mean,
they definitely could, but nobody's giving them a good look. Nobody's as far as athletes, the ones that's gonna really make a difference there, they looking at Alabama, UT, and all the big schools because they trying to, which is understood. They trying to make their lives better. They trying to get to the next level. But that's why I said it's kind of like asking for world peace. Like everybody got their own agenda. You know what I mean? It would be cool if everybody came together and done all of this, but I'm still trying to get to where I'm going. So this way is way much better. Even though it's for humanity to go this way, it would be great. For me, it would be better if it go this way. So this is where I'm gonna go. So it'd be like I'm wishing for good things, but it ain't gonna happen. I know how people are, man. I know people trying to make their lives better.
I think it definitely be a great look, for the HBCUs if they can get these 5 4-star recruits,
right?
And basically in all the sports, man. I mean, with the deals that's in place, if you can, like I said, you're not gonna have the donors at these HBCUs like you do at these big schools.
Definitely
can pay them, but that doesn't mean that the community can come together and say, hey, they could profit off of this. What can we do to give them this type of deal?
That's what it's gonna be. What can we do? What can we do to help?
So that's just my whole thing. And I hope eventually, we're known much more than just homecoming down here. You know what I mean? We're known for the sports program, the education.
Yes.
Of course, the marching bands.
All of that.
For all of it, you know what I mean? Yeah. So let's get the sports programs back up because we all know that's the biggest money generating thing at all these schools. So
yes, sir. We got to get these kids to the next level from these HBCUs. That's what it is, man. They scared. They're going to go to the HBCUs and then they're going to have a job instead of going to the next level that they're trying to get to as far as sports-wise. It's great. Now, we're not saying like just because they just have a job is not. Because they give them, like these kids are getting degrees and like they're going and being doctors and lawyers and shit too. That's awesome. Yeah. But we mean the athletes that's going to go to trying to be at the next level as far as their sport. We need to start doing that, getting them to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see how things play out, with these schools, and hopefully these schools are starting to. I have to make this statement real quick before we go. Ed Reed.
Yeah, my boy.
The situation with him and Bethune-Cookman, that was...
It gave us a bad look.
It was a bad look, but from Ed Reed's standpoint, you kind of be like, hey, I kind of understand.
Of course.
You bringing in just like Deion Sanders, a pro football Hall of Famer, to coach these boys who was passionate about this.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it might have been some things said, he probably, whatever, but at least somebody's speaking up about some of the conditions at these schools, because, you know, even Eddie George spoke up, you know, so it starts with everything. Reinvest the money into these programs so they can come and you can start getting the best, you know. It's
that's for real, because come on, man. You know, I feel him. But I'm the type of person who always, you're going to be mad at me because I see both sides always. I see this side and I see this side. I'm the type of person you'll be mad at because I understand both sides. But I understand Ed because it's like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be passionate about this and I really want to do this and I want to take us to the next level. But what y'all going to do for me? Like, come on, man. Come on now.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of things in life is, come on now. That's how I feel. I ain't going to lie. Because it's like, y'all got me here. I'm here and I'm serious about this. How y'all gonna meet me in the middle? Because you can't just have me here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's all get on the same level. That's how I feel.
And it's gonna be a equal level playing field, you know, across all sports. Like I said, with the NIL deals that's going on.
Yes.
No, these smaller schools are really starting to get some of these big name players too.
Everybody
and they
should. A chance.
So, you know, you got the viral basketball stars, you got guys who are like the number one prospect going to a mid-major school. So it's good for college sports all over because you start seeing the playing field a little bit. And then when it comes to the season, you don't know who's going to do what and everything like that. So it's very exciting. I can't wait. All right, man. So we're coming towards the end of the episode right now, man. I'm really thankful for you coming on, man. I really appreciate it,
baby. Anytime you need me, you let me know. I'm here, baby. I love this. This is awesome.
Appreciate it. So usually I give my guests the last word, but before I do, I just want to remind everybody to follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, y'all please like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. New episodes are available every Friday on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You know, so y'all check those out, man. Please support. So, so see, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get the last word in. Go ahead, plug in your platform, and also remind them where they could, follow your platform on.
Definitely. Hey, I want to say thank you, bro. For real, man. I was a little late. Y'all don't know that, but you know what I'm saying? We worked it out. I appreciate you waiting on me. I had a ball chopping it up with you. Y'all can come check me out, Just Channel on Facebook, just _ channel on Instagram, Just Channel 4L on TikTok. Y'all make sure y'all go and subscribe to Drinking After Dark, my boy. Yeah, all of that. Just Channel, we here. Drinking After Dark, we here. We ain't going nowhere. Anytime you need me, let me know. I need you to come on so y'all can come and check that show out too. So Definitely. We can just keep going, bro, for real. So that's my formal invite. So whenever you're ready, I'm gonna be on your bumper. I'm gonna be calling you too, so we can get it done. So y'all can come and check out the show. So I want to thank you for having me on, bro. Had a ball. I love conversation. So I'm here anytime you need me. And if anything I can do to help you, let me know, bro. For real.
Definitely, I got you. I definitely gonna try to come on. You know, we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, we're gonna
come
make
on there real soon. So
definitely,
y'all stay tuned for that. All right, y'all. Till next time. I'm Darius from Drinking After Dark podcast, and we out. Peace.
Dope.
Gotta get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.